So this is actually the third time recording this video, because first time I recorded it and I guess it'd be portrait or landscape, I don't know, the vertical one, and then the second time I just had the camera flipped around, so it would just be no face, just audio, and we don't want that. Basically just making a quick reaction video to Rally Roots' newest video. I had other video ideas for this week. I was just gonna chop up some footage I had from a couple months ago about a collection buyout, but this kind of just gave me more of a spontaneous, quick little reaction video idea, a different style, and let's get into it.
Could have sold the companies for a lot more money than we actually sold it for. But again, being kind of naive into the space, that's a lesson that you learn. The second big mistake I think I made personally was, and this is going to sound funny, but working too hard. And I know, like, it's kind of like it's driven into our heads, especially in America, that as an entrepreneur you have to work 24/7, or wake up at 5 a.m., get your workout in, eat healthy, make sure you're reading your mindset books and, doing your coaching and all of this stuff, right? And then you work 5 a.m. to midnight, and then you do a cold plunge and then go to bed.
Like, he has something against cold plunges, but no, in all seriousness, he's talking just about like the morning routine that's kind of being pushed to like entrepreneurs and people who want to be high earners and all that. I tend to agree with this. I have more about Alex Hormozy style opinion on the morning routine. Is basically the quicker you can get from waking up in bed to on the computer working is what's going to make the big difference. That's what's going to move the needle. So luckily for me, I work out of my home, so I wake up, do a little 30-minute checkup on the business and bank accounts and investments and all that stuff, check up on maybe Facebook deals, and wake up, do the whole like brushing teeth, getting dressed, and I'm in the basement by 9 o'clock. So the quicker you can go from wake up to actually working on the computer is what's going to really move the needle, not so much the morning routine.
But realistically, that mindset, I think, is one of the most unhealthy things ever taught in America, especially to like younger people that are just getting into it, because there's no balance, right? There has to be balance of like work to life, because if all you're doing is working and all you're doing is grinding, especially in your younger years, in your 20s and your 30s, like.
So here's the meat and potatoes of the video. The biggest disagreement is him talking about like work to life balance, and he says especially in your 20s how you should have this work to life balance, and I couldn't disagree more. In your 20s, these are going to be your foundation years to really build yourself up to when you get into your 30s and you want to start having a family and settling down, maybe with a girlfriend or something, where you're going to be set up in a really good position. At worst, if you did things right, you can be, maybe you can even retire. So totally disagree. I think in your 20s, you should have, your work should be here, and, more your lifestyle should be down here compared to the norm of lifestyle here and work down here. It's just going to be, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot.
You're going to miss out on a lot of life. And if you're not taking time to step back from work and not work so much and focus on developing those relationships, then your life is just going to go by in a blur, and that did happen for a couple years for me. I neglected relationships with friends, with Allison, which thankfully Allie and I are still together, 10 years married. We've actually been together for 15 years, which is crazy, but awesome. But yeah, and then also, with my parents, with my brothers, like not taking time to go, okay, I've worked enough. Like,
what he's saying is mostly talking about, don't miss out on relationships. Totally get that, totally agree, 100%. But he's talking about also missing out on a lot of things. I think the things you're going to miss out on more than like relationships are going to be the dumb things like going out, drinking, partying, stuff like that. Not you're still going to make time for friends and family.
Like, this is good, things are going well, let me step back and maybe take a week off or take some time off and go enjoy something that I like to do, or go spend some.
So I get taking time off 100%. You need a day off, do something you like, but the whole aspect of, things are going well, let me take a day off, let me take a vacation, I don't know about that. If things are going well, I would think you want to, put more fuel on the fire and put more resources into what's going well to take advantage of that, especially as an entrepreneur. I don't know. That's a kind of interesting take there.
Time with someone doing something that they like to do. So I think that hustle 24/7, hustle and grind 24/7 mentality that's pushed on people, it's pretty big right now too. I see it a lot on social media, on like Instagram and all that, where it's like, even if you have a side hustle, you have to work your 9 to 5, and then you get off at 5 p.m. and you get home, and then you work from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. on your side hustle. And guys, that's just not sustainable, in my opinion.
So here's talk about like the Gary Vee side hustle. You work your 9 to 5 job to pay the bills, and then you get home and you work your side hustle from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think he said 12 p.m., but I think what Gary says is 9. So that still leaves you plenty of time with your family. And I think that's a viable option for a lot of people. I mean, how else do you expect at 30, 40 years old, with a family and kids, and a wife to get ahead? I think this is a great option for a lot of people. So I disagree. And obviously it's not doable forever. Obviously you would hope that eventually the side hustle could, take over your full-time job, so you can just pursue your side hustle full-time. That would be the goal.
Especially those of you who have a family, who have kids, and a significant other, like, you're gonna lose those relationships. You have to focus on spending time with developing those relationships. That's much, much more important. Even if it takes longer to build your business, or maybe you can't go full time in the time frame that you wanted to, maybe it takes you an extra 2 years to go, okay, now I can go full time. I promise you that those relationships are way, way better than grinding 24/7. You know what
Their family is number one. Simple. And as far as going full time, sooner or later, most people should never go full time, and especially like reselling. Part time is gonna be the way to go, regardless. But yeah, take your time. Don't go too fast, especially if you have a family and got bills to pay. You gotta really make sure things are gonna go well, and you got like emergency funds and stuff like that.
I mean, hopefully that makes sense. And at the end of the day, like, you also have to go, why am I grinding 24/7? Like, what is my reason for doing this? And in a lot of people's cases, their reason for doing it is for freedom. It's so that they can spend more time doing things that they like to do, or so that they can spend more time with their friends and family.
This is kind of the last point I want to make. He goes on for another minute or two after this, about like, in the same topic, but here he made a great point. And this is something that a lot of people, need to hear, is you don't just, live life. Like, you got to sit down with yourself and, ask yourself why you're doing certain things, question everything. Why am I in school? Why do I have this job? Why am I doing this? What do I actually want? Don't just do it because everybody else is doing it, or just, live life mindlessly. Like, this is going to be harder than the work that is actually being required to achieve some of your goals. It's going to be sitting down. It's going to be super tough. And you really got to, just sit down with yourself and ask yourself what you really want and why you are doing certain things. And I agree. Live more in the moment.
You have to lose your time. And
I think that's all I want to cover. If you like this style of video, kind of experimental here, we're looking to post about 1 time a week. Give us a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you are into retro video games, you can use the link in the bio below to join Whatnot for $10 free. We're doing 3 streams a week right now. Yeah, we still got a lot of games to sell. Recently bought a video game store out, and we've just been auctioning all the games on Whatnot. So if you're into old Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, stuff like that, definitely want to check that out. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.